very good day from Rob Palmer and Steve McManaman, and welcome to what is going to be called the Boston Stadium for the World Cup finals coming up in 80 days. The players assembling centre circle, we have the Brazilian national anthem. Loud and proud rendition of the Brazilian national anthem. The players knowing every single word. Our apologies to our French supporters out there. You missed the Marseillaise during the commercial break. But what a matchup this is. Two of the powerhouses of world football shortening themselves up before the World Cup finals. This is the Brazil team. A strong-looking front line with Vinicius Junior, Cunha, Martinelli, Rafinha, but very inexperienced at the back. Wesley, Bremer, Pereira and Douglas Santos, between them, have only 13 caps. In some ways, for Carlo Ancelotti, this is an experimental evening. A big night for the officials, all from the United States, led by Guido Gonzalez Jr. He has Nico Ranca and Corey Richardson alongside him. Armando Villarreal is the fourth official, Tim Ford in the VAR room. It may be an experimental looking Brazilian team, but that is a very strong starting 11 for France this evening, who come into the game as favourites, higher in the FIFA rankings, currently third, Brazil fifth. But Carlo Ancelotti does have a very tough job on his hands. If the last 5 games, they've only won 2, they've lost 2. They drew against Tunisia. And there we go, Steve. Kylian Mbappe leading the line tonight. Good to see him on 2 feet and playing football.
Yeah, surprised to see him start the game, actually. I've only had small cameo appearances for Real Madrid. And there's Casemiro, ex-Real Madrid, now at Manchester United as well, as captain for Brazil.
Casemiro has been in such good form at Manchester United. The supporters have been singing one more year. It was announced just after Christmas that he would be leaving the Premier League.
And there's the main man tossing the coin. You follow the Boston Celtics?
It's Jason Tatum, isn't it? Got all of his records, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, this is the France team. Spot the weakness in this. They are missing a couple of key players. No Saliba, Jules Koundé, Bradley Barcola haven't made the squad, but this is a very well-balanced team. Konate alongside Upamecano in midfield, Maignan the chosen goalkeeper tonight. And the big surprise, they left the naming of the team officially until the very last minute. In fact, beyond the last minute, they were keeping us guessing. But Kylian Mbappe does start. And as you were saying, Steve, in recent weeks, the last 4 games, only 21 minutes against Manchester City.
Yeah, and you wonder how long they will utilise him. I mean, it is a friendly match. The squad is very, very strong, isn't it, for the French national team in particular. So I can't see him playing the 90 minutes, but we'll wait and see. He certainly needs to run out, doesn't he? So, as I said, a couple of cameo appearances, came on off the bench against Atletico Madrid at the weekend, so he needs a bit of time. But he's certainly for Real Madrid doesn't need to get injured again. That's the main thing, because they got Bayern Munich on the horizon.
We would think they have the blessing of his club side, Real Madrid, as part of his fitness comeback, wearing that armband, proudly leaving the French team.
Pity they haven't got the glorious yellow shirts on though, Rob, isn't it? And France in their traditional blue, they've both gone.
Well, certainly plenty of Brazilian shirts, canary coloured in the stands as well. You know where the locals are looking.
See, lose the ball, get behind the ball. Maybe this is a different type of Brazil that are going to be difficult to break down. We'll wait and see.
It might be the evolution of Brazilian football. This is an excellent start. Gusto down the right-hand side, flipping it right across, looking for Ekitike, an important header from Wesley. He's one of the youngsters coming into the team, the 22-year-old. Plays his football at Roma.
And that's this lovely play in it, Gusto, Dembele. Simple running off the park, that's... Ball fed into Mbappe in the penalty area where you want him, and Elise run. Full of attacking options, France.
The Santos in midfield, Ederson behind. A real rucky back four for Brazil. Now, without Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper, Gabriel of Arsenal. Alexandro was a late withdrawal as well. Taken quickly on the blind side. Oh, that was a wispish little shot there.
Yeah, good run by Rafinha, nice pick out. Just doesn't settle enough, just doesn't get down, but this is a nice ball by Casemiro. Just a simple ball.
Uncomplicated football from Brazil. Rafinha really coming into his own. One of the stars and leaders at Barcelona. 19 goals so far this season, and he's been out for a couple of spells with injury as well.
I mean, this last, 18 months, Rob, last year and this year, he's been outstanding, hasn't he? Gone to another level that we've never seen from Rafinha.
Well, the one thing that the two sets of players will be wanting to avoid tonight is any injury going into the final straight of their domestic seasons. Deschamps won't want any calls from the club managers tomorrow.
No, it's Wesley on Theo Hernandez.
Hernandez, the meat in the sandwich. Upamecano back to Maignan. There is an assurance.
Look where Dembele is there, going back into the centre half spot to get a kick of the ball.
There goes Kylian Mbappe and a raw challenge from Wesley.
Yeah, Wesley has thrown himself in. You could see Mbappe was ready for him, wasn't he? He was jumping out the way because he knew Wesley was going to come firing in. No such thing as a friendly to him.
With a smart set piece. Rabiot cuts it back. Ekitike goes down. The referee has a long, lingering look at that and sees nothing wrong. And Brazil counter-attack at speed. It is the Fab Four against a France 3. Vinicius Junior taking on all comers, but stopped firmly in his tracks. Mbappe again. Bypasses Wesley as if he isn't there. Which option will he take? Tries to hit it low and hard. It's Brema who comes and stops him.
I did well, actually, Brema. Oh, this Wesley again flying in. I don't think that was a foul.
Dembele playing in a roaming role at the moment.
Yeah, he is, yeah. Tchouameni sitting in there, and you can see Rabiot and Dembele either side of him. But as you said, almost allowed to go wherever he wants to. That's what winning the Ballon d'Or does for you. You can play wherever you want.
Exactly. Ekitike draws the foul this time.
Yeah, just a simple in and out. And Wesley's done what Wesley does. He just fouls. He has to be careful. Thankfully, it is a friendly. He's made about 3 or 4 fouls already.
It will be a test for Ederson these days, playing his football in Turkey with Fenerbahce. A slight spring-like breeze around this stadium. Ederson organising his new-look defence. Upamecano is up from the back. It's aimed to the far post, but could have done better. It was Rabiot who got there in the end.
It was a lovely swing out, in swinger, and then just coiling out at the end. And Rabiot just takes his eye off it. Really, goes with his arm almost, with his shoulder.
A reminder that it's match day 3 in the NWSL. This Saturday, Boston Legacy. A lot of good football going on in Boston at the moment. They're taking on the Utah Royals. Join the team 12 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus on Saturday. Mainian just coming to the extreme of his area, breaking his boredom. He's largely been a spectator so far. Now Konate. Given away. Now can they come alive here? Brazil, the gap opens up. Oh, so very, very close.
Yeah, but at least he took the shot on.
Yeah, Martinelli, first time we've seen him tonight, really. But he was lurking with intensity.
Yeah, poor ball by Dembele. Given to Vinny Jr. He makes a good run to clear out the area, Vinny Jr. And as he cuts inside Upamecano, he just can't bend it around Mignon into the goal. Nice enough hit, though, from Martinelli on his left foot.
Well, a big scare there for France. A reminder they can show no complacency. It wasn't the toughest group for the qualifiers, with Ukraine, Iceland and Azerbaijan. 5 wins out of 6 matches, no defeats, outscoring the opposition 16-4. When it comes to the World Cup finals, France will be facing Senegal in New Jersey, Norway in Boston, and waiting for their opponents in Philadelphia from the playoffs. Great little step over, poor ball in, easily defended by Pereira.
Yeah, again, that's Mbappe, that side, down the right wing.
The French strikers constantly changing position to try to find some space. It's not a bad front. Well, 3 front 4, Dembele, Elise, Ekitike, Mbappe.
Yeah, it's a great front 4, but I just don't know whether they're getting in each other's way. There has to be a pecking order on who's the best. Another bad tackle there.
That is, and that's going to be the first yellow card, no escaping that. Teased in, low and hard. Good header away by Bremer. Dembele, what does he see? I think Ekitike was quite expecting it there. Compromised clearance. Offside. One to tell the kids about, isn't it? If you're not going to be a footballer and you become a match day official, doesn't get much better than refereeing Brazil against France. Well, a buzz around the stadium as the supporters are studious at the moment rather than excited. The referee bought a little bit of time there and then decided it had been a foul on Rabiot. Canate. Gusto looking to free Elise there. Ball is played into Mbappe territory. Goalkeeper comes and a fanciful little flick. It just comes so naturally. I think he's passing the fitness test. And he's just one off the France goal scoring record now. Magnificent Mbappe.
Yeah, that's where he should be playing, shouldn't he? He should be playing as a number 9, just using his sheer pace. Because once he gets the other side of the defenders, nobody in world football is stopping him. Look how quick he is. He's just away, and then it's just whether he can finish it. And of course he can finish it, because all he does is score goals. Wins by Tchouaméni, then Dembele into his path. Just sprints away from Bremer, who's got no chance of catching him. And just a stink little scoop early over Ederson, who's got absolutely no chance. Lovely, lovely, acute finish.
£62 million, but at international level, just the one goal in his previous 19 appearances. And we saw the starting 11, Steve. We didn't exactly have the fear factor, did we?
No, they don't have the fear factor at all. And you've got the spectre, haven't you, of Neymar, who are not fit yet, not fully fit Neymar, but he's there, he's making noises on social media saying he wants to get back in the team. So that puts pressure on everybody in that front line, because they're not the exciting, free-flowing Brazil of old, are they? They're a very pragmatic, get behind the ball, counter-attacking Brazil. And it's whether the fans can appreciate that or not.
This is a great move and a turn again by Mbappe. They need to really get a grip of it, because at the moment he has the freedom of the Brazil penalty area.
Yeah, it was nice quick play by France. Dembele into Tchouaméni yet again. Tchouaméni into Mbappe. He just pulls his shot. Ekitike wanted it actually to be pulled back to him. France.
Here is Wesley. Cuts inside. Vinicius Junior gives him an angle. Vinicius Junior and the rest of the Brazil team felt there'd been a foul on the full-back then. The referee doing his best to keep things flowing. And a little test from distance from Casemiro.
Yeah, firstly, it wasn't a foul on Wesley. He went flying in. Secondly, it was a corner. Casemiro takes the shot and the goalkeeper saves it. So it is a corner, but you can't, even in a friendly, you can't react like that to the referee and remonstrate in front of him. But this shot, the goalkeeper gets a hand to it. But this wasn't a foul. He goes flying, Wesley. He just jumps over. The referee's having none of it, and rightly so.
I think it's fair to say that he's rather incensed. Giving the ball away. Emergency action taken by Hernandez. High fives from the keeper, but dangerous play from the back, just lapsing. Cunha and Martinelli are willing to get on any bits and pieces that fall their way. Rabiot having to hoist it to relative safety. Rafinha looking to launch it into a sea of stars. Hands it to the far post.
A chance.
A free header.
That was a chance from Casemiro. A good chance. He was unmarked.
He's had the two best chances of the game for Brazil. It's playing on his mind there, you can see, can't you? He's reliving it.
Yeah.
He's had a fair goal-scoring season, Casemiro. He's waiting with 7 goals for Manchester United, making him even more popular than ever, 2 more than the whole of last season.
Yeah, he's had a really good season, hasn't he? He's going to leave Manchester United at the end of the season.
Mbappe knew that he'd started in an offside position. Pereira looking wide to Douglas Santos. Tchouaméni is having a storming game in the centre of midfield. When we head back to the ESPN studios at half-time to analyse the goal, you see that it was started by an excellent intervention.
Yeah, he's playing really well, actually. He's playing really well for Madrid as well, Tchouaméni.
There they go again, France. Haven't seen the best of Dembele yet. Cuts it in towards Elise. Mbappe takes his time in his mind's eye. That was going in the top corner.
Yeah, he doesn't move Wesley really, does he, Kylian? Normally he moves the defender a bit. They work it well into Dembele, then into Elise and onto Mbappe, but it was difficult.
So it's Scotland playing in the Florida sunshine.
Yeah, they may play themselves into the tournament. Morocco will be a decent game, be hard for them. But as you said, Haiti, Scotland, they'll be hard games, but you think the climate, as you rightly said, Rob, should suit them. But they're certainly not the Brazil of old, and that's what they have to carry on their shoulders, don't they?
Absolutely. Stick with us at half-time. Ali Moreno and Kay in the studio. Julien Laurent will be satisfied with his French performance. Xhaka and Alexis down on the shop floor. They've been telling us how the fans feel and maybe get an insight into the minds of the managers. He's got some work to do in the recess. Carlo Ancelotti to lift his team. The difference between the sides, a brilliant goal from that brilliant player. And there is the smiling assassin, Kylian Mbappe. He's a man on a mission. Some accused him when he was at Real Madrid in the winter months of maybe playing when he was carrying an injury to try and reach a record. Tonight he's one off Olivier Giroud. And maybe the bat phone ringing from Real Madrid if they overplay him tonight. But what a wonderful goal, Stephen. He was looking super sharp.
Yeah, very quick, isn't he, when he plays on that final line at the shoulder of the defender. Nobody's stopping him. That's where I like him to play. And once he gets one-on-one, it generally ends up in the back of the net. It was a lovely, lovely finish. And he's in great goal-scoring form, isn't he? But you're right, Real Madrid will want France to wrap him in cotton wool because they've got bigger games after this friendly exhibition matches.
Well, the French players out first. Carlo Ancelotti clearly has a little bit more to say to his Brazilian players than Didier Deschamps. 14 years in the job, and it was great when you saw that camera angle as well of him celebrating the goal as if it was the World Cup final.
Yeah, really nice to see. Still means a lot to Didier, ex-player as we know, as you said before, Rob. Celebrating every goal and every match as the Brazilians make their way onto the field.
There's Casemiro, hoping he's in better mood in the second half than he was in the first. He felt that his shot had been saved by the goalkeeper and he went slightly over the top. But Brazil without a single shot on goal in the first half of the game for almost 3 years. Well, some of the boys in blue have to raise their game in the second half. You know the coaches are going to mix things up. There's some there like André Santos, who we've barely mentioned in the opening 45 minutes. They haven't found a pathway to Vinicius Junior. Martinelli's had a couple of moments, but it's been a fragmented start.
Yeah, it has. Ali was right in his assumption. You know, we're waiting to see what Brazil are. How do they play? We know what France can do.
Booming the goals in for Brentford in the English Premier League. Only Haaland has scored more this season in the English elite. Better from Brazil. At least they're being a little bit more forthright in the second half. 6 at the feet of Martinelli, and then a missed control at the final moment from Casemiro.
Yeah, I think Martinelli was trying to find Vinny Junior, and Casemiro comes bursting through. It nearly falls into his path. Just fired at him a little bit hard, because of course the pass was originally going to go to Vinny Junior.
There is Vinicius Junior. And again, when you see him play for Real Madrid, you'd maybe expect him to take the defender on that. Trying to be a little unselfish. Gets it back to Casemiro, across the face of goal. Oh, the goalkeeper had given up the chase on that one, and it was a fine block of necessity from Konaté.
Yeah, but it's better from Brazil. Again, get the ball forward, let the main men, with all respect, play. Vinny Junior into Casemiro, into Cunha, into Martinelli, and then a block by Konaté. But it's better, let the front four have the ball as much as possible.
Brazil has a reputation to live up to. For decades seen as the most flamboyant football, carnival footballers. The first half was disappointment. Second half, at least they're taking the game to France.
And Enrique's had the impact straight away, the substitute. Going to run at Theo Hernandez a couple of times and skip past them. Just starts to build a little bit of pressure.
Times the criticism of Didier Deschamps is that this team don't play flamboyant football, but they have been measured and organised, and now it's a test of the defence. And the first save of the game from Maignan falls to Vinicius Junior, draws the defenders, lays it back to Casemiro, tries to pass it in. Well, a marked improvement from Brazil.
Yeah, and that was Enrique again, I think it was, Rob, cutting in. Again, attacking Theo Hernandez. Great run by Wesley around the outside. Nice shot, simple enough for the goalkeeper. But they've started really well, Brazil.
Luis Enrique had a couple of good seasons at Real Betis in La Liga after they invested a lot of money to sign him from Fluminense. And he back to Brazil. He's a bit of a globetrotter, playing for Zenit in St. Petersburg, and an opportunity tonight for him to impress Carlo Ancelotti. He's got a tough act to follow as well, coming on for Rafinha.
For me, I don't have a problem.
Gusto. Konaté. Brazil pressing high. Ancelotti with a limited amount of time to work with his players, only appointed, was it 13 months ago? Made his debut against Ecuador. In the qualifiers, they didn't win away from home. They drew in Ecuador and were beaten by Bolivia. They relied on their home form to finish in 5th place. That looked suspiciously offside. That looked like a foul. That looked like a good tackle. The referee has a couple of decisions to make here. Vinny Junior swears, almost literally, But the challenge was inside the penalty area. We'll go to the VAR. Cunha on to the loose ball. Maybe they judged that he'd come off a defender.
Yeah. It's up in Meccano. It was outside the penalty area anyway. Scruffy. Just a tangle of legs.
And it's Wesley again who went on the adventure. Meccano and the goalkeeper.
Was that not offside? But anyway, it was a scruffy challenge, wasn't it? He gets in front of him. It is a goal. It is denial of a goal scored, an opportunity. Of course it is.
So if you're VAR, are you going to request that he's dismissed?
Him off, won't you? Yeah. It was a really awful challenge from up Meccano. I don't know what he's doing. Just runs across him and bounces into him, but of course he was going to get a shot on target.
The referee has assessed the video evidence. It's not a yellow, it's a red.
Vinny Jr. and Rafinha either side. I think that's a better balance as a number 9. Cunha likes to play a little bit deeper, doesn't he? So it's interesting to see. He's got a plethora of forwards, hasn't he, Carlo Ancelotti? But it's in defensive areas is where he doesn't have enough depth, I think. But, you know, when you've got Estevao, when you've got Thiago, when you've got João Pedro to come on, Rayan, if he does play, who's exciting but is only young, of course. They should be able to score goals at least.
There's a deep pool of promising talent.
Yeah, promising. Yeah, that's the operative word, isn't it?
And João Pedro making his 7th appearance tonight. He's yet to score a goal for Brazil. He has had an impressive first season with Chelsea. 18 goals for Chelsea. Right, France break from the back. Elise draws defenders. Brilliant ball to Ekitike, who walks it in, and France come alive. They breeze into a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, 10 men, no problem. This all stems right from the very back, from the goalkeeper playing out to the left back, and they make it and pass the ball through the pitch. This is a lovely goal. Unfortunately, we're only seeing the very latter end of it when the 4 forwards break, but actually it stems right back. Elise to Ekitike, just dinks it, chips it over Ederson again. He could have went to Mbappe, goes to Ekitike, beautiful finish. Bit like Mbappe, he's just scooping it over the goalie, little jab. But actually, the goal starts way, way back down the pitch and they cut through Brazil. Really classily, lovely goal.
All going according to plan for Didier Deschamps. His 2nd goal at international level for Hugo Ekitike, scored back in November against Ukraine.
That's his last kick of the game as well, mate.
Not a bad last kick to have either, is it? His seat on the plane back to the United States in the summer is very much assured. And they hardly weaken by bringing on Thuram and Doué in the double substitution. But to a legend, Zinedine Zidane, in the summer. Well, he's had all the great jobs in football, hasn't he? Carlo Ancelotti winning the league in all 5 of the top European divisions. Champions League success on 5 occasions. He has been involved in the national team football before as the assistant to Arrigo Sacchi back at the World Cup in 1994, of course, in the United States. But he's got a very tough job on here to make something out of this assortment of Brazilian players, make a team out of them. Vinicius Jr. to Douglas Santos. So a little bit one-dimensional from Brazil. Give it to Vinny and hope for the best.
Yeah, it's hard for Vinny because, as I said, Michael Elise's putting in a shift and a half. He'll just try and help Malo Gusto out as much as he can.
Referee offering some protection to Vinicius Junior, and a free kick and another test of the French defence. Too acute an angle to go direct for goal, especially at this level of football.
Yeah, he just attacks Gusto this side, gets his pass away. I mean, it wasn't really a foul, was it?
He's desperate to keep a clean sheet. He has these defenders almost stepping on his toes. They're defending so deeply. The goalkeeper surprisingly let it go. And he needs a touch, and he gets a touch. And Brazil are back in it.
Bremer. Yeah, it was a scruffy goal, but actually it was a really nice cross in from the free kick. Give the Brazilian fans something to cheer about.
Well, his first goal for his country, for Bremer. He'll take them from anywhere. They're famed for scoring imaginative goals. But that was a bread and butter goal from the Juventus man. And a tense 12 minutes now.
Yeah, more importantly, they're back in the game. Nice cross in to the far post. Gets recycled back by Casemiro. He's well onside, Bremer. It's just whether the ball to Casemiro was out to the far post, but suggests that it was still in. Enrique's in. And Bremer's there, the scruffy part, getting his big right foot onto that one. They all count.
Ball is laid in again, good defending, Konate hoisted away. Angelotti's team need to really show a little bit more urgency, determination and drive here. The game is slipping away from them. Experienced French players have it under control. Douglas Santos. And there needs no introduction. Vinny Junior cuts it inside. Shoot is the demand, they play it through. Oh, and Vinny Junior had a glorious opportunity to equalise in minute 97.
What a ball by Bremer. I don't know whether it comes off the post, it was that quick, but it was a fantastic ball off Bremer. Oh no, he just completely mishits it. Goes with his wrong foot, goes with his right foot instead of sticking it with his left. Vinny Junior, it's a great opportunity, last kick of the game virtually. Why doesn't he go with his left foot, Rob? Open his left foot up, just let it bounce off his left foot. Decided to flip it, as if he's been a bit too smart.
Well, it's beyond the reach of Thiago, but certainly within the periphery of Vinicius Junior to equalise. And if there's one player that Brazil had on the field that they want to fall to the boot of, it will be the golden boots of Vinicius Junior.
Yeah, I felt he went with the wrong foot.
Will he be teased by Kylian Mbappe that he scored and Vinicius hasn't? The referee has played beyond the minimum of 7 minutes. He said he would add to the game. France just playing down the clock. Maybe they've still got a goal in. Akluch.
Yeah, just keep it down that end of the pitch now. Or not. Oh, he's nearly tripped him up again. Akluch would have been off.
I know. Well, that is a textbook tackle from N'Golo Kante. Vinny Junior keeps the momentum flowing. But France regroup, and surely they've seen it out now. Carlo Ancelotti does not have a lot of time on his hands. Croatia and Panama coming up, but they have been outclassed tonight. Hugs and handshakes, they've done it the hard way. France, under the expert leadership of Didier Deschamps. Steve, in a nutshell, fully deserved?
Yeah, it was an unusual game, wasn't it, with the sending off? But yeah, I think they've got more class, haven't they, France? Even though Brazil could have equalised late on.